Did you catch my video in the thrift store of looking for a decorative piece that I wanted in decorating my apartment? Yes, I have downsized dramatically for any of you that have been following me. And I am decorating an apartment, and I love going to find things at the thrift store. So I was looking at a few things. I have a very narrow place on my wall, tall and narrow between two windows, and I wanted something decorative. I didn't want a picture, a photograph, a print. I wanted something decorative. And I found this great piece. The size, the shape. I wasn't sure. It's kind of odd with this shelf. Like, I don't know. It's not one of those candle sconces, so I'm not sure what this was meant for, but I'm going to do a floral arrangement on this. And just so you can see, I just cleaned this up and took the price off of it. You can see this was $7.99 in the thrift store. And you'll see the two pieces that I was considering for this in the video before this. So I thought I would take you along on how I transform a piece like this. I love that it's black, so I'm not gonna paint this. But if you find pieces like this and the color's not right, it's so easy to change the color with a coat of paint. But I like the black. It happens to go with what I have, so I have that. I have some floral bushes here, which are mainly greens, which is what I wanted. These actually came from the Dollar, it wasn't the Dollar Tree. Was it the Dollar General? One of those dollar stores. But anyway, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bushes here, which are small bushes. But again, I don't need a big space for this. I also have one of these floral foam blocks. This also comes from the dollar store. 4 of these come in a pack. I just need one of these. So what I'm gonna do is put some glue on this to give myself a base to insert the florals into. Let me just hold this up and see that I get this. I wish I had this on a stand to work with. I'm gonna have to work with this while it's flat. So that's all I did, was glue it in place. And this is what's gonna become so easy to insert my floral stems. While that's drying for a minute, I'm going to take these. And when I look for greens, I always look for different greenery, different textures, different colors, different leaves. It just adds more interest to the piece. So I'm gonna start cutting these off in individual stems so that I can place them where I want. I have my little snipper here that I'm just gonna snip them off into individual pieces. My biggest pet peeve with these things, oh, this one came off easy, is these sticky price tags that don't always come off easily. So there's one bush. I like these long leaves because these are all on wire stems, so I can sort of bend these because I want that arrangement to sort of flow downward, give it a more realistic look as to how it would naturally grow. And I'm gonna keep them in different piles here so that I can just disperse them once I'm putting the arrangement together. But this is so easy. Again, when you're looking for that specific something, you may not even know what you're looking for. I just knew that I didn't want a picture, and I kept looking at this empty space that I have on my wall. And I said, I need to fill that with something. But again, I have enough artwork in the room, and I didn't want to add another piece of artwork. Yet I wanted something textural, decorative, more architectural. So this fit the bill. $7.99. How do you go wrong with that? Okay, so I have all my greens cut down. I did get this one that has little white flowers. I'm not sure. Originally, I was thinking I was going to do it in all greens, but this is so neutral. I love this cream color. So I'm just going to incorporate a couple of these. Cut these down. I have everything in front of me now and ready to go. And it goes together So I wanted to be able to show you that you can do something like this so easily. You can tell this is dry now, this is not moving. What I am going to cover this with is a little bit of moss. I should have put a cover on my table. I'm working on a glass table here. It's one of the things, since I downsized, I no longer have my studio, so I'm working on my kitchen table. And again, just to lay this here, I'm not even going to glue it because I'm going to glue the edges of my, I have a basket here that I'm going to leave this on. Just to sort of cover the front of this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, the greenery and the stems that I'm going to put in are going to cover most of this. So let me just lay this down. Get the front covered how I want it. This is an awkward position that I'm working in. I would much rather this up straight so that I can see how it's coming. But we work with what we have. Okay, I'm gonna start with these guys. And these are pushers too. Pushers are when there are greeneries or florals or what have you on the stems, and you're able to push them up. I want to push them up because I want it to look fuller. And I'm going to bend these down a little. Again, I'm looking for it to be falling over the edge. Just a little bit of glue. On the stem. And you can see how that just gracefully drapes over. And let me take into consideration 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna go with 4 of these around, and I'll put one standing up in the back to give us some height. Sometimes when you only have a few stems, you wanna make sure that you're gonna have enough to make it look full and even. Put 2 in the front. And by the time you start really filling it in, you're really not even going to notice that, but it's something that I like to be aware of when I start because I don't want to run out of product. You know, again, I was used to working in my studio where I had inventory of florals, and I would always save things from projects if I didn't use them all in one project, so I'd always have something to dip into. But being in an apartment now with no studio working space, I don't have any of that, so I literally just picked these up. So now you'll see how I went around the edge, and I'm gonna put one right here to give this some height. And there's no hard, fast rules in this. You just do what you think looks good. Spread them out a little bit. And there we go. There's one stem, and see how you're not seeing that foam block that it's in. Now I'm going to fill in with this greenery. I think that this is a little bit more fuller, and you'll see how this just starts to come to life now. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plenty. Let's just, these are not pushers, so these don't push up. But again, they are on wire stems, so you can bend them to go any way that you need. And as I said, I didn't glue that moss on, but because I'm gluing these stems in and going right through the moss, it sort of keeps it in place. And if I put one in on one side, then I put it in on the other side. And this is sort of how I keep a balanced look. Those are just tricks. Again, there's no rules to this. Have fun. Find a piece that you love at a great, you know, as I said, I'm decorating my apartment, and I love to go thrifting, not only for budget reasons, however, that is a consideration. but it's the thrill of the hunt. It's finding that perfect piece. And again, if it doesn't fall right, just bend it. Now that's half of those in there. I'm gonna stand this up. I'm gonna go for a little height in the back. And you can bend these any way you like and fill in. Always take a step back and look at it. Make sure they're placed the way that you want them to be. And just adding that one added that height there. So I added one on one side, I'm gonna go on the other side. I can't wait to hang this up. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I have it in place. And this is another thing, in decorating my apartment, I sort of look around and see what I think I need so that when I go thrifting, I know kind of what I'm looking for. Whereas before, when I used to go thrifting, I just used to look for great deals, not knowing that, because I was making a lot then. Not knowing what I was gonna make, and it would give me inspiration. I found a great piece. Now I'm going very intentionally looking for things for my own space. See how that filled in and how quickly? Oh, I have one more of these. Where should we put this? You know what? I'm gonna have this come forward and this go in the back. That'll be good. And then I have one more greenery bush that I will add to that, because that will give me, I'm gonna look around to see if I have any bald spots. This is gonna be above my sofa, between two windows. So you will be sitting down. Always take that into consideration when you're decorating. Did you ever notice when people are hanging artwork or things on the wall, especially for a living room, a family room, which is a room that you would primarily be sitting in. So you take that into consideration when you put things on the wall. They should be lower, not higher toward the ceiling. Because again, you're not looking at it from a standing position. Mainly, you're gonna be looking at it from a seated position. So you want them lower. This will be closer to the top of the back of my sofa, because you will either be sitting on the sofa or chairs in that room. So take that into consideration, what would be viewed when it's on the wall from there. So you wanna make sure that you don't have a lot of bald spaces down here. So I see that I have a few, but I have this greenery now, and I'm gonna go in with that, and I'm gonna pay attention, because I think I have a nice shape, and I think I have nice height on this. So I'm gonna be filling in any spots on the bottom now. That will just cover that up. Perfect. Another tip when I am, I always like to have a note that I keep either on my phone or in my bag, because sometimes you may go to the store on a whim, and I always have a list of things that I'm looking for or that I think that I need. I also carry a miniature or a mini, what do you call that? Measuring tape with me to make sure that I can measure things, because I keep measurements of things. Like this spot on my wall, I had measurements of how wide it was. So when I was looking for this piece, I knew that the height and the width was perfect. Now see how I filled in those spots? I'm gonna continue to do a few more. I see a hole here. I'm gonna fill that. I only have one more here. And then I think I'm gonna add those few whites. And really, this has come together within minutes. I mean, I'm going a little bit slower because I'm talking to you as I'm doing it. But otherwise, this went together in minutes. All of my greenery is in there now. Isn't that so pretty? Now I have 5 of these. Again, very neutral, which happens to go with my space cream color. This is not going to compete with anything. And I'm just going to stick a few of these in. Liven this up, brighten it up. Even though I like just the greenery as well. There's one. If I put one on one side, I'm going to put one on the other side. Just so I'm spreading them out evenly. It gives it just makes it look. One in the middle. And I have two more. And just need to hold it up and look at it. I'm gonna have this coming forward. And then I have two more, which I will do back there. And 1, 2, 3. My glue gun, which this is my all-time favorite tool ever. And I have all the burns and scars on my hands to prove it. So be careful when using your glue gun. But I get excited when I get this out because it doesn't come out too much anymore. But that's okay. It's okay. I'm in a different season now, having fun doing different things. Okay, one on that side, and put one on this side. And that is it. What do you think? I just love it. And see what I mean about the different greeneries, the different textures, the different colors, the different leaf shapes. That's what keeps it interesting. So when you're looking to put together an arrangement, even if you wanted to do it monochromatic, go for different textures and slightly different shades and shapes. It just makes it look more professional, more designer, more higher end. So there you go. I'll show you a picture. Stay tuned to see what this looks like when I put it into place. Thanks so much.
Strong winds of